And what did it take for you to really step into the arena, you know, like from a chiropractic doctor to be standing there in the city council and just being seen and just unwaveringly sharing the truth?
Well, you know, there was a mask mandate here meeting at the public city council here down at the courthouse. And I had a lot of patients ask me if I was going to go. I have a lot of patients that, you know, basically I lead a group here, you know, with Nebraska for medical freedom. And, you know, there's thousands of people in Nebraska that are part of that. And I put on vaccine seminars. So a lot of people like look up to me as, I don't want to like say, oh, I'm going to toot my own horn here, but I do lead a lot of people when it comes to this. And I had all these moms ask me, are you going to go speak? And I said, yeah, I'm going to try, you know, and honestly, I didn't make it to the first meeting and I lost sleep. I felt so like, oh my gosh, what did I do? I felt like this remorse. I felt guilty for not being there. And they said they're going to have another meeting here in a week or so. And I was like, thank God, I'm going to go down there. And I was like, I had all this energy. I'm like, I'm going to go down there. I'm going to speak. And when I got down there, my wife and daughter were with me and I had a lot of friends and that whole courtroom was filled with people. There was 5 news crews and they had about 13 docs for the mask mandate. There were cherry-picked doctors and they basically stacked the deck in their favor. I was the only physician in opposition. And I felt God had me there for a reason. I felt so convicted that he had me there. And in fact, I went to the restroom and I kept praying, God, turn me into a lion. Give me the words to say, turn me into a lion. Just turn me into a lion, God. And I remember like going to the bathroom. I saw this image of David and Goliath. And, you know, it was like I was like witnessing David and Goliath. Like I could just see it. And God was telling me, you are David going against Goliath. And I literally walked back in the courtroom and I sat down next to my wife and my daughter even prayed for me before I went down there. And that was, you know, very powerful. And my wife, she's very slow to speak. And she's, you know, I like to say she's very wise. And she looks at the cameras. She looked at me and she goes, you better know what you're getting yourself into. And so I went down there and to speak and I spoke from my heart and I spoke with conviction and I literally felt like God turned me into a lion. I look back in the video and I'm like, geez, my mom goes, you were so angry. I was like, Mom, you don't understand. I was like, I just felt convicted and passionate. And it was like, you know,
you're on fire.
Yes, I was. And I, you know, not realizing, you know, just basically what happened. I just spoke from my heart and I left and I went to the office and you know, and I went home and I had dinner and, you know, the video was online, but I was trying to get my mind off everything. And then, probably, you know, a couple hours later, I got a text saying, dude, your video is going viral. And, you know, I always joke with my wife and I'd post something on social media and she's, you know, I'd say, hey, my video's going viral. I got 4 views. I got 4 shares, you know, and she'd laugh. She's like, that's not viral, you know? And so then I pulled up my social media and it looked like my social media was broken. It was just like all these, I couldn't click on notifications. It was just like, looked like fireworks just going crazy. I'm like, what is happening? What is going on? And I knew I stirred the pot. And
oh yeah.
And so then I couldn't sleep. I just like, what is going on? I lost sleep. And in fact, I didn't sleep for 5 nights after I spoke, just because it was just the craziness that was happening. There's so much attention and I had phone calls in my office, phone calls from all over the world. I had emails, messages from all over the world. In fact, I don't even know how many friend requests I have on Facebook. And there was thousands of them within 3 days. And you could scroll for like an hour and not get to the bottom of them. And I was like, what is happening? And I just can't help but going back to the quote that says, if you just never know how far reaching something you may think, say, or do today will affect the lives of millions tomorrow. And if you knew the power of your voice, I mean, you would stand at the rooftops and shout, because I don't care how small you are, how small your voice is. I'm just bhtapper@yahoo.com. I'm just a small town chiropractor here. And I just was passionate about health, and I just happened to speak, and it just went around the world. And it's like, it's true. You just never know how far reaching something you may think, say, or do today will affect the lives of millions tomorrow. Yeah. And if we just have to get out and speak our truth, and it's just, it's very humbling and very, rewarding at the times, because, these times that we're in, it's like, truth is treason in an empire of lies. And these times that we're in, speaking truth is a revolutionary act. And we have to understand that when there is tyranny, being pushed on the people, good people need to act.
Yeah.
It's our duty. It's our duty. And there is a temptation to be lazy, to fit in, just to comply and just hope for the best. There's that temptation. You don't want to make waves. You don't want to raise, any attention, and you don't want to be or buck the system, or you just want to comply and just pray that everything will be fine. But there will be a time in history when tyranny comes to our doorstep. We must answer with resistance and with a fight. Absolutely. We need to not let them in.
No way. Imagine all our ancestors who fought to protect their families,
right.
Fought to protect their land, their culture. And now it's like, it's different, because the war is an information war. It's a psychological war. It's almost like it's witchcraft, it's an illusion. Right. So a lot of people don't recognize this war for what it truly is. And so I'm absolutely 100% with you in the fact that those of us who can see what is happening, we do have the responsibility and the duty to say something, because otherwise we'll be held accountable by the next generations. Where were all the people who knew? Was there not anybody who could see what's happening? And, you spoke about speak the truth, even if your voice is shaking. That is probably the most powerful tool we have. If you think that creation was brought into existence by the word, if we've been made in the image of God, it means that we also have the innate ability to create with our word.
Amen.
We can create hope. We can create another effect from this causality. If we change this causality, the future will be different. But if we continue to obey and let our rights be taken from us, then we can guarantee, because of natural law, that we will only fall into deeper and deeper slavery.
Right.
That you can't get freedom by accepting tyranny. It doesn't work like that. Right. Like, you're absolutely right. We have that responsibility. And what a liberation it is on a soul level to step into that service and say, hey, I don't need to be perfect to do this. All I need is to say what I know to be true. I need to do what I know is right.